and be circumcised. Then he had to go to the whole household and tell all the men, if you want to do this, this is what you've got to do. Abraham was showing them the pattern of receiving God's blessing. Because it said that Abraham will be the father of many generations. But when you've got family members, you've got servants and all these, the thing is that when you're entered into covenant, covenant says, my family is your family is my family. So Abraham's blessing didn't just go, because you think about logistically this. So if a person had one child, 9 months later, they can have two, and said hers is going to be as numerous as sands of the sea, that's going to be a lot of childbirthing right there. A lot. We talked to a man the other day. He was the guy we did concrete for. He was the youngest child of 15. 15 kids, Joyce. Can you imagine having 15 heathens running around? So how does that happen? So if you take 15, if he has 15 in his 100 years, then all of a sudden he's got these other kids. Eventually it's going to happen. But the thing is that what Abraham's family pulled into was all of those people who were circumcised under Abraham's model, who set themselves apart. There's where also Abraham's family grew. Does that make sense? So in other words, it's your circle of influence that you're blessing down through those generations. See, we have a job. We have a job to do. But the thing is that if we've not even got to the point of being circumcised, how can we receive our blessing? The blessing comes after the circumcision. You see this? The blessing. When God said to be circumcised, did it say then that she's going to have babies? No. He said, I'm doing this so you and I can have a relationship. And as Abraham was found faithful in that relationship, then he was blessed. Do you see the pattern there? That if you want blessings, be found where?
Faithful.
Be found faithful. But if you're not found faithful, then guess what? You can't receive. So if you want to know where things are going, it's like where I'm at right now. I'm praying like, okay, God, am I missing something? Am I missing something? And how do I know that I could possibly be potentially missing something? And I'll tell you exactly how I know, Kai, that I could possibly, that this right here has a reason. See, I don't take this just as me being stupid and hurting myself. I take this as a bigger lesson so I spend my time now. I told Amber this morning, I've not really told her a lot, but for the past 3 days, Lance, my mind has been saying, why? Not just that, but I'm looking for what else is there. It's beyond slowing down. It's something much more. And how do I know this? Years ago, I was playing softball. And we was at practice. If y'all know me, I believe in if you're going to do it, overdo it. It always works better. And so we're having practice. What do you think Monty did during practice? I slid into second during practice. Why? Because we was practicing. So I'm sliding into second, Danny. What do you think I did? Was at Fifth Avenue Park. I broke my ankle. Sliding into second, practicing. Same stupid guy that one time during practice decided that I really needed that ball on the other side of the fence because it was just right there. And so in my blind rage, I stuck my hand through that fence and the points drug all the way up here, and I drug it back out, getting to think my arm was ripped all open. Because I was not going to let somebody score during practice. So I'm walking across the field. Bailey's got one arm, and I'm sitting there walking on Bailey. And I'm praying, God, what the? Because I'm playing, I think I'm doing right. I'm even playing on the church softball team. Even though Brother Denny did have to come to us and get on to us. We got trouble with the church softball team. Somebody threw ball bats, whole 9 yards. That was a really good Christian example right there. Well, you want to see Christianity? Go watch our softball team. When your pastor's got to come and correct y'all and shut y'all all down until he can really stop softball and take the name of the church off y'all's uniforms because you're not acting like Christians. And we were the leadership. So, and I prayed. And I'll never forget, Delaney came up to me. She said, Lonnie, she said, God is trying to show you something. I'm like, okay, yeah. Sandy Ray came up to me. She says, Monty, she says, prior to this, you've always ran. You've always ran and took off. She said, and this is where I learned the story about the sheep, little lamb that's on Jesus' shoulders. And if you look up some of the pictures, the leg was wrapped up. And I've told you the story, that when there is a wayward sheep that always runs off, what does the shepherd have to do? He has to hobble it. Has to break its leg to teach it to become dependent. That's where he would lay him down. He would lay him down in the grass and lay him down by water because he couldn't walk. And she says, that's what God is doing to you. He's slowing you down. He's going to have to carry you for a while because you want to run. But you're not ready to run yet. You got to slow down because God's got something else for you other than what you think He's got going on. So now I'm taking that model there and I'm applying this model here because honestly, I don't know what I did to make this happen. I am searching intently for what I did to make this happen. Why? Why would I search so intently so I could pinpoint how this bullcrap happened? So it won't happen. Exactly, because guess what? Monty's going to do something. The same thing.
And maybe you can help somebody else out.
So again, here it is. So I'm asking God, okay, God, am I even going in the right direction for you? What do you want me to do? The lesson in that is when you take whatever circumstances you're in, don't sit and focus, God, why did you do this to me? Why am I hurting all the time? I'm saying, okay, God, show me your will. Show me how this can be used. Show me how I can show someone else. Show me how this thing works out. Why did I have to come to church today? Why couldn't I just take it easy? I told Lance the other day. Lance says, Monty, why don't you just stop? Just stop. I said, Lance, this is my body. It belongs to me. I don't belong to it. In other words, my body is not going to tell me. I will tell my body. Because when you let your body control you, what happens? It's been said that when you sit down, it's harder to get back up. I watched that man right there suffer when he was down, and every day he could not wait to get back up. But he told me something one time. He said, son, you're never going to get it all done. You're never going to be done. You're never going to be thought of. He said, you got to learn. And I said, this is coming from who? Dan Thorne's one of the hardest working people I know. And he's still getting it. And he's telling me to slow down. Enough said. I stepped on thin ice for son-in-law. But all I'm trying to tell you guys is that do not focus upon where you're at as a bad thing. When you start focusing upon where you're at as a God thing, that changes everything. Abraham affected a whole group of people downstream from him, even to the point of where he was interceding for Sodom and Gomorrah. For the wickedest people in the world, Abraham was interceding for that. Abraham was found faithful. Abraham did not pray for, hey, God, why don't you just get my family out of there and kill the rest of them fools? He prayed, God, if you can find, and he even dwindled it down to the number.
He negotiated with him almost.
Huh?
Like a negotiation.
He negotiated with God.
Yeah.
But did you notice something? God negotiated with him.
Yeah.
All I'm trying to tell you is that there is more going on, and God is wanting to work with us. But the problem is that we cannot see because we do not know. In other words, we don't study the Word of God. There is the outline of how to study. Because when you're looking at it, something's going to pop up. Some word, some strange thing that you've never seen before. If you'll write that down and start researching whatever it is about that, God's going to lead you somewhere else. Follow that trail. All of a sudden now you're going to, and all of a sudden He's going to bring you to a point, and I promise you this, it will speak exactly to your need. If you will follow. If you've done these steps. How do I know this? It changed me. And if it can change me, it can change anybody. I promise you. I assure you this. But the question is that do you want to be changed? Or are you happy right where you're at? Complacent. Old pastor used to say that whatever you tolerate, you deserve. The thing is that, guys, we have got a mandate that is in front of us. God is calling us out. And yet, if you look at the rates of Christianity, the rates of suicide, you look at the rates of trouble in the church and compared to the church and the people in general, no wonder why people don't want to be Christians. No wonder why. It's time for change. And it's going to hurt. It's going to be lonely. I sit beside myself. I told Joyce the other day, I am so happy that I have Joyce and Danny in my life. Because I've got very few people. I don't have a mama no more. I don't have somebody that I don't even have, outside of you guys, I don't have really friends. Outside of this group of people, let's even Bryce included, I don't talk to nobody no more. And you got to understand how many people I used to talk to every day.
Is your life better, Bert?
Oh, it's great. And I'm going to stop on this one right here. This is what happened. There was a guy, I was teaching a class about how Freemasonry interprets Christianity and how Christianity interprets Freemasonry. And I got done teaching the class, and the guy walks up to me and says, man, God told me to give this to you. If y'all know me, you'll know one thing is I can't stand is listen to preachers. I won't even listen to myself. So it's just my weirdness. But yeah, he gave this, and especially if this preacher, if you recorded this preacher, is probably going to be one of them kind of weird preachers, Benny Hinn or whoever, Benny Hill or whoever he is. All these different kind of guys. I just don't like them. And I'm listening to this guy anyway because the guy said, listen. It took me a long time, and God said, listen. So I had to listen to it. And I listened to the whole thing. And it told the story about the man at the pool of Bethesda. And what it was, there was a pool in Bethesda. And it says, occasionally, the waters would be stirred because an angel would come and stir the water. And if you were found to be near that, if you're there when them waters were stirred, and if you could get to that water when that water was stirred, you would be healed. They'd seen that before, and so there was a group of people hanging around there, waiting for his chance to be healed. And that's how we are as Christians. We're all waiting around this pool, just waiting for some kind of sign, for some kind of anything. And all of a sudden, the water got stirred. Long story short, the guy gets healed. When he gets up, the guy says, and the Lord told him to do what? Don't go to the left. Don't go to the right. Go home. Go home. And he says, something particular. He says, do not tell them anything about it. Don't tell them about your healing. Don't you find that weird? He says, don't tell them about your healing. Go home. And he says, when they're asked, he says, you tell them, I cannot abide with you anymore. What it said. You cannot abide with these people anymore. Because he was so used to laying around with the cripples. Laying around with those who were just waiting on healing. He says, go home. He says, you don't have to give them an explanation of why you cannot abide with them anymore. And I wondered, why did that catch? Because I didn't understand it. But that was right before my attack came. It was right before the separation. And I prayed. When I started realizing the things that I was getting into, the things that was opening up, I said, okay, God, if this is not of you, I'm too dumb to take myself out. I don't trust me. I do not trust me. I don't know if it's God saying or the money saying. I don't know. Because there's a lot of things that I think I heard God say that I come to find out wasn't God. It was money's version of God. I said to God, if you want me gone, then take me out. Sure enough, right at the time of I'm being taken out, I go back and I listen to that thing again. And it says, do not tell them why. You cannot abide with them anymore. Go home. I didn't understand it. I was like, God, why did you take me out of this to put me here? He said, this is your home. Don't tell them why. It's not their business. You've got to listen to me. I want to train you. I want to change you. I want to make you a different person. I want to show you these things, and I want you to teach people these things that you've learned and how they apply. That's where I want you to be. A friend of mine has said, you realize, Monty, that if we spent the time studying, going to college, that we do spend the time learning our Masonic stuff, we could have a college education. It'd be a lot cheaper. And it's true. It was so true. And I said, okay, God, then what do you want? He says, study me. Study me. So I've